Hello, lovely. It's been a minute. I have been on a hiatus from The Bachelor, Love is Blind, but if you're looking for a reality dating show, I've got just the one for you. Have you heard of Jewish Matchmaking? I'm sold. I absolutely loved it. I binged watched it in one setting, and what I loved most is the matchmaker, Aleeza Ben Shalom. She is such a love. Clearly loves what she's doing, loves her clients. But the show is more than just a reality dating show. It's educational. It's teaching you about Jewish faith, about the thousands of permutations in terms of people who are extreme Orthodox to those who are more liberal, and a lot of like the terms and what things mean. So I really found this really pleasurable to watch. And why I'm so excited is because I got the chance to interview Aleeza. She was in Israel. We got a chance to connect. I had questions from my followers on Instagram. If you're not following me, please do look for my profile, Back to Love Doc. And I answered all those questions about why she became a matchmaker, advice she has for people on dating. And I just really enjoyed my time with her, bonding, because I appreciate that actually matchmaking is a lot like therapy. It's a slower process. We have to sort of nurture those relationships, and there's not such a definitive beginning and an end. But I want you to watch the show because they're thinking they might do a possible second season, but they need more publicity. And I really just adored it. I hope you do too. Leave me a comment what you think.
Yay! Hello.
Hello. I'm like trying to get to you. I'm like, I'm here. Hi, Aleeza. How are you?
Good. How are you? Let me see. I want to make sure that I am sending this to my page and they're seeing it. Are they seeing
Yes.
it?
They will be able to see that you've gone live.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Fantastic. Hello.
Hello. Aleeza, I was just like talking about matchmaking before you got here and how I appreciate how challenging your job is and how I love personally learning so much about the Jewish tradition and all the various permutations. My God, you said there's thousands.
Yes.
Wow. As if you don't have the most difficult job in the world, really.
I said that I have had pushback where people are like, listen, I work as a nurse. We've been working through COVID, the life and death. I said, listen, I didn't say I had the saddest job. I didn't say I had the most, stressful job, but challenging, putting two people together for a lifetime is also kind of, life and death, not to take life and death, lightly or anything that way, but it is a very serious thing to build your life around another human being and intertwine body and soul, be one together. It is extremely, extremely difficult for a couple to do.
100%. And I don't want to negate it because I help people find love too, not as a matchmaker, but I get it. It makes a difference in the quality of one's life, and I don't want to negate that. One of the questions, how did you get started in matchmaking?
So I always was kind of dabbling growing up. I would set friends up. I would kind of like be the positive go-between between different friends and couples. And then when I got married, I had two little kids at home, and I said, you know what, I don't know, I need some adult interaction. I need to do something in the world and not just have baby talk. I love my babies. I'm a real child person, but I needed some adult interaction. And my girlfriend's like, oh, you should try matchmaking online, jmatchmaking.com. You can be a matchmaker. Only matchmakers set people up there. And it's so fun. You should really give it a shot. And I was like, that sounds fabulous. I'm in. Sign me up. And that's how it all started.
Well, Aleeza, I have to tell you as a viewer and as somebody, I watch a lot of reality dating shows. That's what I do. I analyze them, see what we can learn from these as lessons. But you really care about your clients. I just have to say, like, there's a genuineness. You're reaching out, holding their hand. I get the feeling you just really care so much about the people that you work with. And it really comes across in your genuineness and your authenticity.
Thank you. I care. And not just that I care. I really love each and every one of them. I become very close with the people that I work with, and I connect very deeply with them. And even the ones that everybody goes, they turn an eye and they're like, I love them. We become friends because when you're looking for somebody's life partner, it is so much more than a job. It really it's a job of the heart. And so if you don't actually deeply care about people, then I don't think you can do it as effectively. It becomes very robotic and very calculated, as opposed to something that is living and breathing within this world.
100%. It's the difference between like doing online therapy and having a real person. I mean, I get those distinctions. So someone had a question though, because everybody loves the Jewish matchmaking, but do you have any references for people who are non-Jewish? Do you know matchmakers?
Oh yeah. Oh, we have groups online. We're connected. I have thousands of matchmakers across the globe.
Oh my God.
In different countries, all over the world. I'm not a local yokel matchmaker.
Okay.
We are completely international. Christian, Hindu, Muslim, no faith, no background. It doesn't matter.
I will love to get that link to send people to you, because I have so many people, again, looking for love. They ask me, I'm like, I'm a psychologist. I'm not a matchmaker, but let me help you. So what advice do you give people, Aleeza, like on a date? If you notice like the common errors, or people want to know, what's the best advice you give people in dating?
So I do want people to be authentic and real. And a lot of people, when they think of authentic and real, they think I have to tell you everything about me. I have to be honest. I have to be real. And I say yes, but please not too much. And it must be at the right time. Yeah. If you're in the therapy world, if you're in the world of helping people to actualize and be their best selves, you have to know how to pace yourself in a relationship, and when to bring the right things up and when to hold back. And if we lay too much out on a first date, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be something that works. It's going to be completely overwhelming, and it's going to stress the relationship before it even can become a relationship.
And Aleeza, what I say is, even on like a neurochemical level, you're flooding your partner. It's just too much information, and you're going too fast. You're not taking like the necessary baby steps to build desire, to build love, to build attraction. So I 100% agree with you. So do you have help? What I wondered is, here you are matching people in all different parts of the country. Do you have other people helping you locally, or how are you finding these matches?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I have a whole team of matchmakers. Okay. In the Jewish world, we have over 1,000 professional matchmakers that are doing this mostly full-time. We also have other 1,000 matchmakers that are doing this anywhere between part-time to just dabbling in it and trying it out. And we have our connections in every city that we are looking for somebody. We always find, we're good matchmakers. So we find the match between the professionals and ourselves. And then that helps us to find people in that local community. And then we also go into, let's say, Facebook. You go into certain groups. You go into certain conversations. You find the people there. In the same way that somebody might look for somebody, we become their detective in trying to find that person.
I knew some matchmakers who use LinkedIn.
Yes.
As a resource, right? To just start a conversation, find out if someone might be single, but they're looking for all those traits that somebody's looking for.
Absolutely.
And I have to tell you, what I love is you're kind of hinting at like, hey, you're a little picky, but you're not actually saying that. You're just saying, help me help you find a better match, right? Which is part of the process. This person didn't work out. Let's talk about why, right? So I can get you closer the next time.
Yes. Absolutely. And if what I don't say in words, you will usually see in my face. So you'll see a little the eyes will open, one eyebrow goes up, both a little So I don't hide it, but I'm not going to look, I like to do things in a playful way, because with love and with humor, it opens people up, and I get so much further than I would get if I was doing it out of pointing the finger and saying, oh, you can't really have that. That's never going to work. How are you going to figure that out? I find, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And 100%. The sweetness, the warmth, the playfulness, it actually it relaxes them and it opens them up. And then they're able to consider something different. And if they're not willing to consider, you saw, there's some people that I'm like, so where's the flexibility? And they're like, there really isn't any. And then it's like, like, I knew that, you knew that. I'm glad that it's out in the open. And great, we'll either find you what you're looking for, or if we don't, you're going to go out with nobody.
Yeah.
Because there is nobody, because you had a box that's about this wide open, and that's all that we could find.
100%. I try to help people open their mind too. Like, your type isn't working. Let's look beyond that, because that can be familiar patterns.
Exactly.
Of attachment and how you find yourself attracted to certain people, but that's not working, right? So you have to gently kind of lead them there, which leads me to actually two things. You say date them till you hate them. Explain that a little bit more.
Okay. So I have to have a disclaimer. I'm all about love, which is why it's ridiculous that I say date them till you hate them, because you better know I really don't believe in hate. That's like clear.
100%, yes.
Clear that I'm playing with you, but it's my fun and playful and Aleeza way of saying, listen, you need time to let them grow on you, and you have to grow on them. And let's give everybody a chance to let maybe what's in our heart catch up to what our eyes see, or maybe what our eyes see, let our heart catch up. One way or the other. Either I like the inside, but I don't like the outside, or I like the outside, but I don't know if I like the inside. Let's see if we can let them catch up and get to a similar spot. If not, you can always dump them later. Why are we in a big rush to dump them? Everyone goes, I don't want to lead anybody on. Great, it's called the process of dating. Nobody's leading them on. You're evaluating if this is your partner. Okay, but I don't want to waste time. Okay, but it's called dating, and you're not wasting time if you're evaluating your partner in a serious way. No, but I might have other options. Oh, wandering eye. Yeah, there might be somebody else better, right? Oh, when was the last time you met somebody better? Oh, you didn't meet them yet. Oh, right. So let's deal with who is at hand. We can deal with this person right now. If they're done, we will move on. I don't have a problem moving on.
100%.
But please, at the right time.
Aleeza, I agree. And I think people are so afraid to, quote unquote, like, hurt somebody, that back to your point about being authentic, it's that fear of conflict and staying present and saying, hey, listen, they'll be bummed, right? But they're not going to be devastated. They only spent 5 dates with you, but you have the 5-date rule. I love that too.
Okay, so there's actually 5 different parts to this 5-date challenge. The one that we mainly talk, well, there's 2 that we mainly talk about. One is that you mentally commit to going out on 5 dates. Like, if you agree that you should go out on 1, there's enough potential there that you should probably go out on 5, unless there is a hard and fast deal breaker that you find out and you're like, whoa, no. Right. I'll let you off the hook for that. But other than that, anything other than a hard no is a yes for another date. It's very easy and it's formulaic, and you don't have to think. And people are way overthinking about the dating process, and you haven't experienced enough. So you have data from 1 date. You think that's enough to evaluate somebody? How about when somebody dumps you after 1 date? Do you feel so good when you're into them?
Yeah.
No. How about you give them 2 dates? Oh, now you got data from 2 dates. Wow, now you've got data from 4 dates. Okay, now we're talking. Now you've got data from 5 dates. Okay, now you can start to see patterns. Now you can see if what you saw on the first date is real, or if that was first date jitters. You won't know any of that, even though your gut might tell you something, but you won't really know that until you confirm that data. So my request is, please give yourselves 5 dates. If it's not going to work, bye-bye, move on. If it is going to work, we just set an excellent foundation, and we didn't stress ourselves out through the dating process.
Right.
But
one other thing that I wanted to get your thought on is, because I do see this juxtaposition between kind of the old world, maybe more orthodox, right? We're not going to have any chemistry. So the expectation even there is different versus the modern world, right? So many people, back to this, why will I give them another chance if I don't feel chemistry? Do you think there's too much of an emphasis on chemistry? Can chemistry grow? Or how do you even reconcile that?
So chemistry is made up of a bunch of different things. Chemistry is definitely made up of personalities. So you have to have 2 personalities that come together. When they mix like that, there's chemistry. Sometimes when our values and our goals align, we start to feel a synergy, which breeds chemistry. And in areas where we are triggered or something is going on, if we're triggered to a high degree, even if we have good chemistry, we're going to start to feel it less. And when we're triggered to a very low degree, it's going to increase the ability for that chemistry to be there, to maintain, or to even increase.
Right, so, and I would call that security and attachment. That when you're vibing and actually you're feeling that you can be relaxed with that person too.
Yes.
So it's like that balance between excitement and relaxation.
Right. Right. And when those things are in alignment, we say, wow, we've got good chemistry. But then we still have to investigate it, because when you see that there's chemistry, there's also a lot of false positives. Woo, we have so much chemistry. It's amazing. That freaks me out. If you come back with fireworks, to me, it is a huge red flag. I would tell you that 85% of those relationships die a horrible death, and very quickly. And they freak me out. I do not like huge whirlwind romances. The slow grow, the steady grow is really an impressive relationship. And those are the ones that last. I love friendships that turn into a relationship. I'm like, yeah, you like each other as friends. I know this is going to work over a lifetime.
Now, what I say is boring is good. Right? Because it's not activating that seeking for some unmet need from childhood and then calling that chemistry or attraction, when really it's based upon some dysfunctional dynamics, right? Back to those kind of triggers.
Right.
So I think what was interesting to me, you also nailed a very high statistic of people going back to their exes.
Yeah.
In particular, you were talking about Cindy, I believe, right? You were afraid that she couldn't get over her ex. Tell us more about that.
So in general, I do see 35% of my clients either going back to an ex or going back to somebody within their life, whether they dated or they were neighbors or there was some connection.
That's a third. That's a lot.
That's 1/3. Yeah. But it's always from their black book. And I think if you ask people, if you took statistics and you interviewed 100 people, I think you would find a third of them, there was some sort of a thing there. It might even be higher than that, because there's an extremely high level of trust. There's a high level of connection, and there's an ability to feel comfortable with being who I am, because I kind of know you. There's a
familiarity. Yes, 100%.
It's phenomenal. Mr. or Mrs. New is scary. I don't know you. I don't know your friends. I don't know your family. I don't know your personality. I don't know if this is really who you are. Somebody just told me a story. They met somebody. I'm telling you, chemistry, everything, boom, boom, boom. They were so excited, and they start getting calls from people. And they're like, you have to break up. And she's like, why? What? He's an abuser. This is a problem. We'll send you all of his exes. You have to get out. She's like, no, everything's wonderful. They're like, yeah, we know. This is a problem. We're telling you this is a problem. You need to get out. Multiple people called her, and it took a really long time to move through this, because she only was able to see the good. She didn't have a history. She didn't know his history. She didn't know his family. She didn't know his community. He seemed like a good human. He treated her amazingly well, and it was shocking to hear this.
I'm sure.
And to learn that. Now, she learned that only in dating. Some people don't learn that till marriage.
100%.
And it's
and I also think, Aleeza, the pros and cons of dating in this kind of public forum, right, means that your exes are going to come forward, but other people are going to be in touch. Do you find that adds more community in some ways?
Exes being in touch is a little complicated.
Yeah.
I kind of tell
other
people,
women, like reaching out and kind of knowing the same people, I don't know if that's a pro or a con.
I think that in a good way, like these other women protected this woman from a potentially dangerous situation, and we need that. I don't like the reverse, where you have a good human, one person has a bad experience, but it's not really, it was a bad couple, it's not a bad person.
100%.
So that really is inappropriately speaking negatively about somebody. But when you need to guard somebody and you need to step in because of a situation that you have firsthand knowledge about, then you're obligated to do that, and it's very important that you reach out.
Okay. So if you had to also say the broad differences between dating in Israel versus dating in the United States, what do you find the societal differences or similarities?
I think in Israel, people are more marriage minded.
Okay.
I think that it's a more community based lifestyle here. I think America is bred on independence, and it's seeped into Judaism and into our culture and our communities. I think in Israel, there's a motivation to do it at a younger age. There's a certain maturity that people have. They go through the army at a very young age. They come out more mature at 22 than sometimes 42-year-olds are from America. I know that people have seen life and death at a much younger age, and they have leveled up. And so they have the ability to build a more mature. It happens a little bit faster. It really happens a little bit faster here.
I could see that with real life stressors, being involved in the military. That really, as you say, amps up the maturity level fast. Yeah. And I can definitely see that. I think in America, where we want everything quick and fast. Now, let's get to that as a part. Before you even came on, I said, this is the difficulty in your show, and I wanted to give people a caveat. On reality dating, we're used to having a beginning, middle, and end. Okay, so like I'm the Bachelor. Every episode I have a rose ceremony, and then I have people leaving and come. And there's a process, and then at the end, it ends with an engagement, which is different than Jewish matchmaking, which is more this like long process. But people want to know, and I had questions: are couples still together? You know, how do you manage all of that? Because that's a juggling act.
Absolutely. Indian matchmaking was the same way, where we're introduced to different people. We follow stories, but we don't necessarily know the end of the story. This isn't a dating show where you choose your person, yes, no, maybe, and we're done. And there were 50 people that you chose from, and we come out with one. Those shows are built to have a built-in ending. Yes. This is actually real-world dating. For some people, the people that I was working with, they said, I have like a 4-year marriage timeline. Well, you better bet in 7 months we are not filming a marriage for them. We are filming a dating experience, and we are showing a dating experience. And I think what you get is real dating. You get to see what happens behind the scenes. And for the people that were on it, I could tell who was nervous. I could see who was comfortable and calm. Like right away, you could see the chemistry that was there or not. And there were cameras there, but it was actually very real for people, and they got very comfortable very quickly, because once you start talking, even though you have a mic on and even though there's a camera there, you look at the other person, you connect, and all of a sudden you're in your own little world. But there isn't a neat wrap and a neat ending, because we are actually following real life, and we are not creating a dating experience where you go through an island and you narrow down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Yeah. It's a different type of a vibe, which is, would you like to go through the real life dating experience? Good. You want to go on date 1? Come look at it. Date 2? Ooh, what's happening? Do we get to a date 3? Well, we're only filming in 7 months, and we do have to hop in and out of cities. So even if we come back to a city, if you dated date 1 and date 2, you wouldn't be doing 3 and 4 3 months later. You'd be doing date 7, 10, 15, you know?
And Aleeza, then in your real world, in your matchmaking, then, are you checking in post dates, or like how often do you check in with your clients periodically to find out what's going on?
I am constantly in touch with my clients through the dating and relationship process. Matchmaking to me is introduction, heavy mentoring and support through the process, and then closing. Yes or no, soulmate clarity. I know it, I want it, or I don't, and I can move on. So for me, I am heavily in touch. I still have WhatsApp groups and messages with the people that I worked with. I check in. What are you doing? How are you doing? So we do know that Shia didn't get engaged to Faye, but he did get engaged.
Yes, I saw that on your page. Fantastic.
Yes, and I was mentoring and I was coaching him through the process, and I met the woman that he was dating, and I helped them to pace it, and so that they were going at a beautiful pace, and because it was a really nice connection for them at first, and we had to keep it paced so that it didn't overwhelm them, and it was really incredible.
Well, here's the thing, and Aleeza, I always say, listen, even if you don't meet your person on the show, the transparency that it gives you, the exposure that it gives you, right? You've gone all in.
Yep.
To get yourself camera ready, to get yourself ready psychologically, emotionally, and therefore use it, right? If it doesn't work with this person, I loved that Harmony was like meeting the you give people to maximize their potential and have more success?
Okay, so I love that you just said be your own matchmaker. I am literally running a free workshop next week that's called Becoming Your Own Matchmaker, because that's what everybody needs. You don't need to hire a matchmaker. You are constantly meeting your own people in your own life. And if you only knew what I knew, you could do it much better. So we do have a whole bunch of tips and advice for how to be your own matchmaker. One thing that I would say is that you do need to have a discerning eye. Don't just go out with everybody. Don't just go out for coffee and, oh, let's see what's going to happen. And don't just wish and hope and think and pray that when the right person comes along, you're going to know. It's not true. You're going to know because you know what you're looking for. You know what you value. You investigated who somebody is. You gave them enough of a chance to prove who they are. You allowed the dating process to develop organically, and you met a high quality human. So that's just one little piece, but I have a whole webinar. You can go on the link in my bio and find out more.
I will, at the end, link this so people can find your page, Aleeza, find out all of that. Do we know anything about a season 2?
We don't. We need everybody to watch all. They're like, you need a completion rate, all 8 episodes. We want to know that people loved it. That's kind of how you vote. You vote with your eyes and watching all 8 episodes.
Well, that's why I just wanted to do whatever I could, because I just so appreciate, again, more the learning and the terminology and finding out everyone in their diversity. But there was just hope there, and I think people really watch these shows, right? Because we don't really want the drama. I mean, I poll other people in other groups.
Right.
We really do want a loving connection, because a good quality relationship makes all the difference in your health, your longevity, your family, right? I mean, I this is why I study relationships, because I don't know what else is more important, right?
I'm with you 100%. This is the most important thing in the world. I adore it, and there's nothing else I want to do. And I do think that it leads to happier, healthier, longer lives and more enriching and fulfilling lives.
Do your boys just love that their mom is a celebrity?
I think they're starting to enjoy it, and my daughter too. I have 1 girl and 4 boys.
Well,
She didn't want to be on the show. She's like, don't film me. I don't want to be on the show. I'm anonymous, but I do have a daughter, and you know what's really nice? I think that they're really, and they've expressed, they're like, Ima, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you that you're doing something that you love. You're good at it. And they're like, and we watched the show in class. It's amazing.
I love everything you're doing, and whatever we can get you to a season 2, because I really do think people want to. I'm online looking at the couples. Are there any still together? So I love that. But what you're doing for matchmaking, for relationships, for just making this public, I also love that it felt like therapy in some ways, that you were connecting with people. I thought, clearly Aleeza has some expertise in, like, a master's in counseling or something.
I've done a lot of research, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I've read a lot of books, and I've watched a lot of things, and I learned it, but I don't have a degree in it. I just have a strong passion for it, but a lot of people say exactly what you say, and I'm like, no, but I'm not a therapist, and I'm not going to do therapy with you, but I will get you married. Don't worry, we can take care of that.
Yes. Well, I do have to run, and I want to thank you so much for your time. I'm going to link all of this for my people to follow you. Make sure that they watch every single episode so we can get you to a season 2, because we just want to see more of this. And I will link also your free workshop so people can join and learn how to become their own matchmaker.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Have a great day. I think I say shalom. Is that
shalom?
Yes.